The word performance reviews can have quite a negative connotation. Both the managers having the conversation and the employees participating in the conversation can become really quite nervous. Why should we undertake review and reflection in our businesses? Why is it important to your employees? So just take your mind out of business and performance, like the business performance in terms of the commercial outcomes. Why is it important to your employees? It is about that. It's actually about providing your employees some feedback on how they're going. How do they know that they're tracking well? But if we haven't set any KPIs for them or any objectives or projects, depending on how you like to do it, then what are they really doing? Are they just following what's in their position description?
They're not just important, obviously, in the Strata industry, they're important in any organisation. People like to get feedback. You need to know how you're travelling. Sometimes that feedback's good and sometimes it isn't. But whether it's good or it isn't, it's still important to share that. So your employee can grow, you can set some goals, work with your team members so that they can feel that they're successful in their role. Everybody wants to be part of a good journey.
If you find yourself in a position by where you have an employee who is underperforming, if you've got very clear guidelines, very clear KPIs and outputs required, that's what you're actually managing them against. If you don't have those clear, defined KPIs and goals, I would ask you, what are you measuring poor performance against? And how does the employee know what's expected if we haven't set it and provided the feedbacks?
Within, obviously, the Strata industry, when you're conducting reviews, I think the whole process, it's not one meeting per year. It has to be built on regular catch-ups, however you call them in your business. We call them one-on-ones. So there's nothing more dangerous than walking into a review and reflect meeting with unprepared, without all of the information. You haven't been meeting with your team member because you only remember the last 6 weeks. And you don't remember that great piece of work somebody did 9 months ago or that great feedback that came in from a customer.
You can't just expect that the employee is going to come in and give you all of the information. You need to be pre-prepared with some good questions, clear the time. Set aside the time just for you and the employee to have a really, really good conversation. Go somewhere quiet if you're able to. You don't want to have this conversation in the middle of the office. So when you're creating the space to have a really good meaningful conversation, you're also going to use open questions and you're going to make it collaborative. It's not just about yourselves as leaders telling the employee how you view them. A really good way to open up the performance review or the review and reflection meeting is, tell me about how you think you went this year.